Hey, you already know what time it is. It's time to get isolated with your boy, Maxie Hart. As I hop up in your energy and raise it up just a little bit, today's conversation, we will be looking at should we cut them or keep them, in which we'll be discussing toxic traits that we should let go of, as well as healthy approaches that we should consider keeping and taking with us as we go about our adventures towards obtaining the love that we desire. A little bit about me. I'm not a people pleaser. I might please people, but I'm not a people pleaser. So no sugarcoating things. As the energy presents itself, that's how we'll take it. Also, no know-it-alls, and that includes me. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to lecture, but I'm here to have a conversation with you so we can learn and grow together. Three, no hate. Just good vibes only. We're here to kick back, relax, and just spend a little time getting to know each other and giving you some information that can help guide you along your journey. Four, we celebrate differences here, so it's okay to just take what resonates, and if it doesn't apply, just let it fly. Whether it's one person or a million, if you bring your best, I'm sure that you'll leave blessed. All right. So today we're not really looking at if our partners that we choose are toxic. We're instead looking at what is it within us that allows us to still tolerate toxic behaviors. So we're not looking at individuals. We're looking at behaviors that we either possess or that we tolerate that might be hindering us from getting the love that we desire. Also, from there, we'll look at some approaches that we should consider as we move forward in our journeys for love. So, we'll start with the toxic traits and then we'll move forward from there. Okay. And I know I would usually give the downloads and the music mix and things like that, but for today, we're just going to hop into it because I don't want you to get lost in translation. When we do our wind down Wednesdays, we'll spend more time with the cards and things like that, which I will pull some cards on the tail end of our message today that will correspond with the toxic traits that we should consider healing from, as well as the healthy approaches that we should keep with us. All right. So let's get right into it. Starting with number 5, and I'll count my way down. Number 5, confusing intensity with intimacy. Bonding too fast. When that chemistry hits and it's that love at first sight and those sparks fly, you want everything overnight. I call it that microwavable love that I need it right now. But, this also entails trauma sharing too early, telling too many things too soon just because of the comfortability that we feel in the beginning. Sexual chemistry replacing emotional depth. We think that just because we have a good sexual bond that we're meant to be together, but that's not always the case. And that ties to the reading that we had just the other day. You have to ask yourself, is it chemistry or is it chaos? Okay. So now we're going to move to number 4. Keeping backup options. Entertaining multiple people to avoid attachment. So it's that instance where you want to keep all your options because you're too afraid to invest in just one person. You're too afraid to fully commit. It's like having a team, having a roster, keeping some players on your starting lineup but benching others. As it pertains to keeping backup options, I encourage you to ask yourself, do you keep backup options as a mode of protecting yourself, or are you inadvertently just sabotaging your intimacy? So let that resonate a little bit as we move to number 3. Hyper independence as an armor. Oh, I don't need anybody. I can do everything on my own. Struggling, but failing to ask for help. Struggling, but failing to receive help. Feeling that we don't need love. Love is just an additive. I can be fine without somebody, and I don't know where that mentality has come from, because we know that, yes, it's true. You can, survive on your own, but why negate your self-love just because you're strong enough to not have to have a partner? It could be easier to have someone to share the love with. It could be more enjoyable to have someone to share the love with. So just because we don't need someone doesn't mean that we shouldn't desire partnership, because we're not meant to be alone. So all right, that's gonna take us to number 2, romanticizing potential. And that's something that I myself am guilty of at times, but falling in love with who a person could be while ignoring who they are in the present, confusing attraction with alignment, as well as waiting for somebody to grow. So, as the relationship goes on, this person will get better. Those habits will end. That person will start to listen and start to understand, because they do the things that you love. So you're just holding on to the hope that they will become that person that you're wishing for them to become, not realizing that they have no desire themselves to become that person. So if they don't have the desire to be the person that you want them to be, that's wishful thinking, and it's a little taste of delusion. Okay? That's going to take us to the number 1 toxic trait that we should heal from before we obtain the love that we desire, and that is avoiding hard conversations. Now, in contrast to what we said earlier about sharing too much personal stuff too soon, this is more so avoiding hard conversations. Ghosting someone versus having the conversations, whether it's just letting them know that you're not interested or letting them know that you are. Allowing fear to block communication is a hindrance in relationships. And some people like to dress it up as, hey, I'm protecting my peace, or I don't feel like dealing with any drama, or nobody's going to understand. Why am I trying to explain myself? I'd rather just avoid conflict, etc. But you don't know if you want to try. And if you don't try, you're doing yourself a disservice, because imagine how many chances at love you might have shot down just because you didn't have the courage to communicate your desires or your lack thereof. Staying silent just to keep access to someone also. Going along to get along. That's what we call it from where I'm from. But sometimes it's important to have those hard conversations, because the strongest relationships are built on truth. Truth gives us that foundation to build skyscrapers. But you don't want to build a love on a fairy tale. So those are 5 toxic traits that we need to heal from before obtaining love. Next, we'll move on to 5 healthy approaches that we should keep as we continue this journey towards obtaining the love that we desire. All right, so back at it. We're looking at 5 healthy approaches to try. And this is what we want to consider our keep energy, the things that we want to keep. This is letting us upgrade our behavior so we can love in a more mature way. I'll start at number 5 and we'll count our way down. Being number 5, accountability after conflict. Being able to say that you were wrong, being able to apologize, or letting people know when you could have handled a situation better. It is really just taking that ego by the reins and not allowing our pride to ruin relationships. I watched Yana Fix My Life, and one thing that I heard her say was, do you want to be right, or do you want relationships? So sometimes we have to let go of that need to be right, to hear, to understand, and to reach a happy medium, especially when trying to build a safe relationship with someone that's going to trust you. But, how can I feel safe in a relationship if I don't feel heard or seen or valued? So take accountability. Say, I'm sorry. We know that you don't mean that you're a sorry person, but you hold yourself accountable for the things that you do wrong. Okay? Don't make excuses. Just take accountability. All right. Number 4, use your discernment over fantasy. Don't get caught in what you see on TV. Don't let the Tyler Perry production studio get you lost in, Wonderland or Lustland, or, your favorite adult entertainer has you thinking that you're going to fall in love with the cable guy, over a hot session or something. Like, come on, let's use our discernment. Let's know when it's time to express our feelings. Know that every spark is not destiny. Just because you feel a little spark doesn't mean that you are meant to spend your life with that person. We have to also assess values, spirituality, lifestyle, children, monogamy, or polyamory, or what does our financial situations look like? Can we build together and not just vibe together? Okay. Number 3, shared responsibility for emotional labor. It's both our responsibility to call each other. It's both our responsibility to hear each other. It's both our responsibility to take the initiative. It's both our responsibility to repair the conflict. It doesn't matter gender. It doesn't matter sexual expression. It doesn't matter who's dominant. It doesn't matter what position. It's both of our responsibility. We have to end one-sided emotional partnerships, because it creates an unbalanced dynamic that's too much for your partner to bear on their own. How immature are you to place the whole responsibility on your partner? You have to meet them halfway, no matter if it means not being in charge all the time and allowing them to lead sometimes and listening to them sometimes. Like, we both have to have equal stock. Like, it ain't 51-49, it's 50-50. And that's in any relationship. Okay? Number 2, slow emotional pacing. You gotta let your attraction breathe, okay? And I know it may be exciting in the beginning. You like, yeah, baby, I found somebody they do everything that I want, everything that I need. But you have to let it breathe, y'all. You can't just let the excitement lead to burnout. That person ODing on your love. You have to give them some space. And then that gives you a chance to observe their consistency over time. If you aren't kissing and loving and sucking and rubbing every day, does the energy and the attraction subside, or does it sustain? And that also gives you the opportunity to not get caught up in just what a person tells you. The gift of the gab, those sweet nothings, because over time, the true person will emerge, no matter the situation. So pace yourself emotionally. Don't fall in love too soon, but don't allow yourself to be blocked or jaded from love either, because, give it a chance. Just pace yourself. And the number 1 healthy approach to try is direct communication early on. Set the intention within the first few dates. Don't leave everything just like in limbo. Say what you want. Say what you're looking for, to make sure that it's in alignment with the person that you're dealing with. And don't sugarcoat things or hide things just to keep someone in your energy. If you know that y'all not on the same page, no matter how attractive they are, you gotta let it go. That's why from the jump, I don't allow myself to be physical with people that's not trying to be in a relationship with me, because it's like, why are we doing that? If I am manifesting the love that I desire, I cannot be exuding my energy out to people who don't even see me as a candidate. So with that communication, although now I can't give you what you want from me, at least I know that we're working with, and it keeps us on the same page and keeps everybody safe and happy. But just be empowered to say what you want. Don't shrink. Don't cower. Just be honest. And, may the cards fall how they fall. So next, we are going to pull a few cards that'll tell us a few things that we can let go of, as well as a few things that we should keep as we move forward in this love journey. All right. And if you haven't done so far, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not following my YouTube, what are you doing? Maxie Hart is free. Follow the tribe, build the collective together, so we can continue to have these conversations, continue to learn, continue to grow. But let's get to the cards. All right, y'all. I have already prayed over the cards. So we want to make 2 piles here. 1 pile of things that we should cut. The second pile will be things that we should keep. I'm going to start out with a cosmic oracle card for each. And then we will pull a couple tarot cards and just follow the vibe from there. But this is going to be a really, really quick energy reading just to end off of our conversation. So I'm going to pull 2 cards and just place them here face down. All right, and then once we get our 2 piles, we will uncover them together. All right, to add to this, I'm going to also include a couple tarot cards on both sides. All right, and like I said, these cards have already been prayed over in this reading as well. All right, and then Got one more stack here. Let's see what cards I want to pull. Y'all give me just a second. What deck? I'm going nowhere. I'm finding. Here we go. Alright. Let's do the What's Gossip. Alright, I'm just going to pull off top here. Alright, boom. So let's start with the things that we should cut. Cosmic card being Earth. The frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to the physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our great mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. In my mind, when I look at this card, something we should cut is our ties to physicality, our ties to the three-dimensional, our ties to physical, earthly possessions, and to focus more inwardly on our spiritual journey. All right, first tarot card being Temperance, which is a major arcana card. So maybe we have been too patient, or maybe we've been too calm. Maybe we've been too controlled. Maybe it's time for us to step up and really exert ourselves. This is also an opportunity for us to focus on our solar plexus because we want to make sure that we are not becoming or falling victim to recklessness or overindulgence. But we do want to assert ourselves and kind of take a stance. We also have the devil. So maybe something we need to let go of is materialism, and it ties into that earth physicality, the three-dimensional. Materialism, when we see the devil card, we automatically just think evil, but like this is our ties to, as you see here on the bottom of the card, I can't make it up, what it say? Earth. All right, so your ties to the physical realm is something that we can let go of. What's the gossip? This baby keep popping up in every toxic love. And our earthly ties can be the thing that's contributing to our toxic love. Even if you look at this card, they're wrapped in that vine. Vine makes me think of earth. But these are things that we should consider letting go of. Our ties to the three-dimensional. Our ties to earth. Okay? And things that we should keep. Things that we should do more of going forward. We have prosperity. I love that. Of course, we want to keep our prosperity because he who was last shall be first. And it's our season of prosperity. It's our season to win. Because once we let go of the ties and in these other materialistic things, God's going to bless us in abundance because of our courageousness to let go of our ties to the physical. We have... All right, here we have the Two of Cups. All right, an exchange of love, but it's an equal exchange. It reminds me of a good friendship. But this is unified love. This is what we want to keep. Attraction, partnerships, romantic. So this is good. Prosperity and love. As we leave the toxic love behind, we'll be able to obtain the positivity that we deserve. The Fool. It's time to take that journey. It's time to take that leap into love. And once you are courageous enough to let go of the physical and you're blessed with that prosperity, you're going to be blessed with an abundance of love too. What's the gossip? And it might be the side piece. It could be your side piece become your main piece. Or maybe somebody tied up being the side piece. Or maybe you're no longer allowing yourself to be the side piece. Different elements that I see here, water and air, your thoughts and your emotions. These are things that we want to take forward. And this card says secret. Whoever your future love is, even if it's a side piece, keep it a secret. Everybody don't need to know. Everybody don't need to know. All right. So that is what we need to be aware of. Things that we could cut, things that we could keep. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. It's very quick and to the point, but me and Chatty LaBelle, when we have our discussions, I'm just here to give y'all the tea. All right. So, as always, I want to thank you so much. And I love you. Love yourself. And until next time, stay strong.